it. Once again, welcome to child nutrition class. Please, child nutrition is a very vital aspect of child care or nurturing children. It is very important in that everything you do also reflects in the child's future. Look at that quote. For good health and longevity, instill in your child sound eating habits. Because number one, what the child eats will affect the child in future. Number two, it will become a habit. That means the child will find it difficult to change. If that child is used to a particular kind of meal, you know, like now, when you were before you got married, there's a particular kind of meal you take in your house. Now, when you get married, you want to bring that same culture. Does it not apply to everybody? It applies to everybody, even me. You want to bring that same culture into your new home. Okay? And your spouse will not say, no, I don't like it. This is what I want. Then, you know, the whatever will start. You now have to start adjusting. Who is going to adjust? So you can see that the upbringing goes a long way to determine what will be at the end of the day. For long life, instill in your child sound eating habits, and it has to be a deliberate process. It has to be a deliberate act. It's not something that you will do unconsciously. And let me quickly say here, it is not something that you will blame somebody else. I can't imagine myself blaming, you know, someone else for my own responsibility. Can't say, it's my husband that has to help me do it. Fine, your husband is part of you, work together, but you as a mother, you have to see it as your own responsibility. Or you say, it's my nanny. I did not know my nanny was not giving my child food. It is your responsibility to follow up on your nanny in whichever way you can follow up. In whichever way you can follow up. I was discussing with us when we were talking about the things that we have in a first aid box, and I made mention of cough syrup, that I don't like cough syrup in the fridge, especially if you are not fully in charge, if you have a nanny at home. That you have to be, don't say, my nanny has been giving my child cough syrup to sleep. I did not know. I did not know. You did not know. How come? Were you not monitoring the drug in the fridge when you come back from work? Were you not checking? You checked and you saw that the drug has reduced, and the nanny is telling you that the drug poured. He poured today, then again he poured. It's only cough syrup that is pouring away. You don't know that your child is being given drugs when the child does not need it, so that the child can sleep. Piriton, cough syrup. You don't keep it carelessly when a caregiver is going to take it and give your child when your child is disturbing her. The same way, you need to also monitor the food that your child is taking. I don't know how you are going to do that, but we are going to be looking at a lot of ways we can do that here. So you are going to pick the one that is going to work for you. You need to monitor. Whoever you are handing over your child to, the food, you monitor. You don't want to get to the clinic and you ask for the BMI of your child. They said we are going to be talking about BMI. We are going to be talking about weight, you know, later. If you can't do it today, we'll do it next week. And they tell you that the BMI is low. Or they tell you that your child is underweight. Or the child is malnourished. You know, that's going to be an embarrassment. Or maybe the child is falling ill over and over again. Why? You can't be placing your child on drugs. It's not healthy. Every time say, okay, if he falls ill, they will take drugs. Drugs have side effects. And the only way you can overcome this is by giving the child the right food. Investing in early childhood nutrition is a surefire strategy. The returns are incredibly high. What are the returns? Sound health. Not going to the hospital, not going in and out of the hospital. The child is immune. You don't know, nutrition is a form of immunity. The way your child eats determine how your child, it's like you are giving your child immunization. You know, we talked about immunization 2 weeks ago. Please, let's not forget that immunization. I forgot to re-emphasize it last week. I have a body to re-emphasize it, that you should take your children, set reminder said, I have a burden to say it again in this meeting this afternoon, that if you have not been taking your child for immunization, please and please, it's very, very important. The immunization people, they went around again, I think last week, Saturday or so, or during the week, Friday or Saturday. There's another kind of immunization going on now. I think it's measles. So please, it is a way, if you have the one you are doing presently, no problem. But if not, please, let us do the needful. Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you who you are. Who are you? Someone was saying that, looking at the combination of food, that some people are more of protein. Their name is protein, carbohydrate, or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that you are what you eat. Because what you eat is what make up your body cells. Diet is the essential key to all successful healing. Now, we talked about food-food interaction, food-drug interaction 2 weeks ago. For every healing, you want to be healed. It's not just the drug that is going to work. The kind of food, because the drug might work. And after a while, if your lifestyle is not okay, maybe the nutrition, or you are doing what is causing the sickness, it will come back. So, lifestyle is more important. Diet is the sure key to all successful healing. Take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live. Jim Rohn. Take care of your body. It is the only place. You don't have any, I said it in the introduction. All the calling that you have upon your life to fulfill, that God has given you, it is in your body that you are going to do it on this planet. Angels will not come and do it for you. So you have to be in your body to be able to do it. So please take care of your body. Child nutrition. Importance of children healthy eating. One, why is it? If we know why it is important, then I think we are going to do the needful. Number one, protects against diseases and obesity now and later. Obesity now and later. You know, at times I always say to people, it's not how fat your child is. You know, some people think when the child is fat, they say chubby or whatever. You need to look beyond that. You need to look at, you know, when you go to the hospital, they check the child's eye, they open the mouth, they check, you know, they look at some clinical, they have their own clinical criteria to determine if a child is healthy. Because some children can be fat naturally, or maybe because they eat puff every day, the child might look fat, or eat bread, you know, fatty things and all that. But is the child healthy? That is the question. Is your child healthy? Is your child? So it's not by being fat, it's not by being thin, depending on the nature of the child. Is the child healthy? When we say health, can the child withstand, you know, pressure? Is the child strong? The child does not fall ill every time after any small thing. You say, infection. If any children, they pick up a lot of things. At times you might not be there, at times you are there. So that's why you need to give your child the right food, the right immunity, so that your child can be, the immune system can be able to fight all the diseases that we have rampant in this time and age. Okay, we are moving on. What else? It promotes normal growth. It promotes normal growth and development. Normal growth and development means that your child is growing at the right age. It's not that the child is 5 years and the child is looking like a 3-year or 2-year-old. And I say, are you sure this child is 5 years old? Are you sure this child is 5 years old? Because the child is not growing properly. People are asking that question. That is why they are asking you, are you sure this child is there? You know, apart from stature, you know, at times the stature of somebody. But you know, at this early stage, children don't really have that stature until they start growing. So with age, you should be able to tell how a child should be. Child nutrition promotes good mood and behavior. Now, this is very important, because many of us, we are not aware, and some of us that are aware, we forget. The mood of your child and the behavior of your child mostly controlled by what they eat and how they eat. So when a child is having mood swing, depression, it could be as a result of poor child nutrition. Can you believe that? Yes. Poor feeding habits can cause depression. Then it can make a child not to behave well. The child can be aggressive, or the child is not behaving up to expectation. It could be as a result of poor child nutrition. Child nutrition improves the ability to concentrate. A pediatrician came to speak in a place one day and was emphasizing it, that it is not only the teacher teaching, that at times when the children don't eat well, the child cannot concentrate in class, and therefore there is poor performance. Because your child is not the only one in class. Why is it performing poorly? It could be as a result of poor nutrition. When the child cannot concentrate, or the child is not concentrating, cannot concentrate for a long time, low attention span, it could be as a result of a poor nutrition. Poor nutrition can also cause confusion. Can you believe that? It can cause confusion, it can cause dizziness, drowsiness, mood swing, mood disorder. Poor nutrition can affect the child's immune system. So nutrition is important because it boosts the child's immune system. As I said earlier, immune system is the one that fights germs, diseases. They kill them in the body. When you immunize your child, for instance, the immunization is to make, so it is not that thing that is put inside your body that is actually working. That thing will only create an awareness in the body of that person that, this thing is coming, start building up antibodies. Okay, so these antibodies are the ones that will fight that disease. So it is not that thing they are putting, that immunization, that whatever, either liquid or whatever injected, but it will develop antibodies in your system that will fight the disease that wants to come. So your system will just be building immunity as you give your child immunization. Immunization builds strong bones and teeth. I'm sure we all know that. So that your child's teeth is strong, it's not just falling off unnecessarily, and strong bones. Strong bones to be able to withstand any form of pressure. It helps organs to function effectively. That cannot be overemphasized. Nutrition, the way your child feeds, determine how the organs, we are going to be looking at that. You will see it, that all these organs, they need good nutrition to work well. All the organs, respiratory system, the organs in the respiratory system, the organs in the circulatory system, the organs in digestive system, the organs in the nervous system, all the systems, excretory system, skeletal system, that's the bones, the tissues, the ligament, everything needs good nutrition. As you can see, there is a mother here and the child. They are having a time out feeding, and they are looking at each other. So encouraging that child, I don't know what that child is eating, but is eating healthy, as you can see, fruits and everything available. But when you eat with your child, it helps to also encourage that child to eat, especially children that don't like eating. We are going to be talking about children that don't like eating and the techniques that we can use for them. So mothers, it is our sole responsibility to ensure that we give our children the best form of nutrition. What is nutrition? We have been saying it is good, it is important. We have listed everything here. Then what is nutrition itself? It is the process of taking in nutrients from food into the body. It is the process of taking in nutrients from food into the body. So what are the key words there? Nutrients. So eating is not just eating. Nutrition is not just eating, that okay, as your child eating today. No, nutrition is about taking in nutrients. So the question you are supposed to ask, as my child taking in nutrients today, not just as my child eating, as my child taking in nutrients. You can take note of that, as my child taking in nutrients. Now the next question, what are nutrients? If you are going to ask yourself, as my child taking in nutrients today, what are the nutrients, so that we can know. So we are going to be, the first part of this topic, we are going to be looking at what nutrients are. I hope we can do a lot today. Then next week, we are going to be looking at how we are going to present this food to our children, the methods that we are going to use. Children that don't like eating, children that don't like eating some kinds of food, what do we do to encourage them? What are nutrients? They are substances that allow the body to make energy, build and maintain tissues, and regulate bodily processes. Nutrients are substances that allow the body to make energy. Because we know that energy is important. If there's no energy, you cannot do anything. So nutrients help us to make energy. Nutrients help us to build and maintain tissues. That one cannot be overemphasized. Maintaining tissues, you want your child to if your child has injury, to recover quickly. You know, it's poor nutrition that when a child has any injury, the child is not recovering quickly. It's another sign of poor nutrition. So maintaining tissues, you need all these nutrients to maintain tissues, and then regulate bodily processes. Now, this regulates bodily processes. It might not be so obvious, but if you are observant, you will see it. There are so many body processes in our body. When I say bodily processes, I mean all the systems in our body, what they need to function properly. They are all called bodily processes. For instance, digestive system, it has its own body processes. It has enzymes, it has chemicals, let me use that word that we can understand, that will help them to perform their functions well. When you say regulate, either to increase or reduce. To regulate means to ensure that it is performing optimal function well. And if we are observant, we will see if these things are deficient in the child. Now, looking at nutrients, we have said nutrients are required to make energy, to maintain tissues, to build and maintain tissues, and then regulate processes. Don't forget, they are the things that we need for life: to get energy, to maintain and build our tissues, and then to regulate bodily processes. Because of that, we are going to divide the nutrients into two categories before we start talking about what we do for our children. Let's look at the nutrients first and see whether they are in our diet or they are not at all. Then what is the way forward? Because if we talk about the problem, we don't talk about the way forward. I just come and tell you, give your child this, give your child, and we don't look at how we are going to do it. Then we just deceive ourselves. That's the truth. Okay, I happen to study biochemistry. Before I go on, as my first course, the first degree I ever got was in biochemistry. And then along the line, we started discovering that it is more than what we bargained for. Why? Because when you come to the class, I'm deliberately telling us this story so that we will be careful when we are learning all these things. We discover that we'll come to the class, a particular topic, this food, this one, we talk about the food, then we talk about the side effect, what we should not do, what we should not eat. And it was like, at the end of the day, many of the things we would like to eat, we are being told we will not eat them, so to avoid them completely. And at a point, it became a serious problem. And some people started concluding that this thing is just a scam. How can we not eat anything? How can we not do anything? In fact, I'm just studying this biochemistry for study's sake. because the stress is too much. Don't do this, don't do this. I'm sure the same thing, those that study nutrition will face. But why biochemistry is peculiar is because we are studying the structure of these foods, these substances, and the implication in the body. So if you are not careful, what I'm trying to say is that you might go to the extreme and now say, God, I'm even tired. God will help us. What are we going to do now? And withdraw. No, that is not the essence of learning it. It's not for you to say, no. It is for you to look at it, okay, let me now take a decision on it. These are the things I'm supposed to do. These are the things I'm not supposed to do. How can I strike a balance? What kind of decision will I take as regards my family's health and my feeding? Okay, so we need to really know that before we go on. We need to take a decision on it, a positive decision at that. So I'm not going to be telling us the details, go into details into biochemistry, but just for us to have an idea of the food, and then, how we need it in the body, the quantity that is needed in the body, if time permits, and then what it does in the body, so that you will know and notice whether you are giving your child enough or not. Macronutrients. So what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are the nutrients that we need in the body in large quantity. I hope you can still hear me. I'll take that again. Macronutrients. If at any time you can't hear me, please send me a message so that I can be aware we can work together. Okay, so macronutrients are nutrients that are needed in the body in a large quantity, like carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. You need them in the body in large quantity. Let me say this before I forget. At times, when we're talking about nutrition, people say, we know what they want to say. They want to tell us to be eating fruits and vegetables. Okay, children, they said they are doing child nutrition. I know what they want to say. They want to tell us to be eating fruits. Let's sit down and start eating the fruits and vegetables. No. Child nutrition is not just about eating fruits and vegetables, and then you cause another problem. It is about taking the food in the right proportion. Balanced diet. That's what we are talking about. Because I've seen an elderly woman that they told her in the hospital, go and be eating fruits and vegetables. So she sat down and started eating the fruit and vegetable, eat, and she started purging. It was so serious that it was God that saved her. So when she told me, I said, but you should know these things now. It is in proportion. You cannot wake up in the morning and start eating fruit. When you wake up in the morning, there's the kind of fruit you cannot even eat. So don't say they say we should eat fruit. So when I wake up in the morning, it's fruit, I will start eating. No. When you wake up in the morning, your stomach is empty. There's the kind of fruit you should not eat. Especially when you know that you cannot eat. Maybe you will not eat till 12 or 1. You will not eat till 12 or 1. Or maybe anything can happen that you might not even eat till evening. And you now eat pineapple and watermelon. And you say because the doctor said you should be eating fruits. It is not like that. Pineapple and watermelon, for instance, especially watermelon and pineapple, is acidic. And you should not just eat it on an empty stomach like that and leave your stomach empty. In the morning, for that matter, it is flushing your system. Watermelon, again, is like water. We are told to drink water in the morning to flush us. So taking watermelon and pineapple in the morning. I'm not just saying it as a biochemist. I'm talking from experience because it happened to me. Even though I knew it, some of this as a biochemist, at times you will not remember. You will just do something. It was when I started feeling as if I was having, all this ulcer pain. And I said, come, what am I even doing? I ate pineapple and watermelon in the morning for like a week or 2 weeks. And that particular day I ate it because someone brings it to our office then, where I was working on the island. So they bring it to the office, so we just eat. So when I was having pains, I now went back to my biochemist saying watermelon and pineapple in the morning. All in the name that I want to eat something. So it is not good. So when we are talking about these things, it's actually taking it in the right proportion, because when you take it wrongly, it can also have side effects. And the side effects might be serious. Carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids are those ones that you actually need, especially your child needs in large quantity, and that is why they call them macronutrients. So let's take them one after the other. Carbohydrates is the number one macronutrient. Why do you think is the number one? You know, people are always afraid of what's it called now? Kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is not the only disease. And because they feel kwashiorkor is caused by when you eat what's it called? Carbohydrates too much. That is what causes kwashiorkor. It is when you don't take it in the right proportion with other foods. Okay, so we are going to look at carbohydrates first. But before we go ahead, I'd like to talk about the micronutrients, just to mention them so that you know the difference. The micronutrients are the ones you need, as the name implies, micro. Vitamins, minerals, water. You don't need them as much as you need carbohydrates, but I tell you, they play, when we say bodily, remember I said making energy, nutrients give us energy, they help us to build and repair tissues, can we remember? And then regulate bodily processes. The bodily processes, you know, you cannot see them, and it can just be mounting. That's why I say they are very dangerous when you don't take care of bodily processes. And you need vitamins and minerals and even water for these bodily processes. And that is why I have water here. Because I'm doing a lot of talking, I will need water to maintain bodily processes. All right, so micronutrients, when you say micronutrients, they are the one responsible for these bodily processes. Some of them are responsible for energy. Some of them are responsible for, they play a vital role in building and maintaining tissues. Remember that? But bodily processes is their core ministry. Bodily processes is their core ministry. Okay, let me quickly explain to us one more time again, please. It is not about eating, so don't ask yourself, as my child eating? Ask yourself, as my child taking the correct amount of nutrients that he or she needs to grow well, to get energy, to build tissues and repair tissues, and then to regulate bodily processes. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a class of nutrients that provides the body with calories. Calories means energy. They are also known as sugars. When you say sugar, you know, someone say, sugar is not good, I'm not going to take sugar. Then you don't take carbohydrates. You know, when you say sugar there, you mean refined sugar, all those sugar they put in juice, or the sugar you put in your tea, those ones are refined sugar. Okay, but this one, when you say sugar here, we mean saccharides, either monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides. Mono, like glucose, fructose, they are monosaccharides. You know glucose, yes, they are monosaccharides. And when you combine two monosaccharides, you have disaccharides, like lactose. Lactose, for instance, is a disaccharide. Sucrose is another disaccharide. It's glucose plus fructose. You can also have polysaccharides, and when you have polysaccharides, you have complex sugars. So sugars can be simple or complex. Complex sugars in starch, cellulose, and the rest of them, they are all sugars. They are complex forms of sugar. The simple ones are, okay, I have simple ones there: table sugar, candy, syrup, sugary beverages, fruits, milk. Then the complex ones, you have fiber, starch, grains, starchy vegetables, and then products from grains, nuts, and beans. Is it not interesting? There's carbohydrates in beans. There's carbohydrates in some vegetables. That is why some people can afford to be vegetarians and they can still survive. Even though there is positive and negative, but you can still be a vegetarian and still live a healthy life because of maybe the doctor has advised you that you have to live on vegetables. You can still go ahead to do that because there are starchy vegetables, as you can see. Potatoes, corn, carrots have starch in them, so they have carbohydrates in them. Fruits, some fruits also have carbohydrates, like banana has carbohydrates and some other fruits. So you can live on vegetables, and fruits and still have all the classes of foods. Okay, so we have some carbohydrates here. We have wheat, rice, corn, buckwheat, barley, oats, wild rice, as we said, and the rest of them. Some of these foods, we have them in our locality, some we don't have. Now, Nigeria is blessed. Our country is blessed. This part of the world where we come from is very blessed. So you don't have to bother yourself with, am I going to get the right, everything that my child needs? Yes, you can get everything. When it comes to nutrition in this part of the world, we have everything. So if we don't have some, we have the others. So you have everything complete. I just decided to put this here so that we can have a feel of all oats, rice, wheat. These are all different forms of carbohydrates. So what does carbohydrate do in the body? Supplies energy to the body, including the brain. Very important. I deliberately added including the brain, because even as adults, as much as we are reducing the level of carbohydrate, I will not say sugar now, but when I say sugars, generally, I mean carbohydrates. But when I say refined sugar, okay, that is when I mean those other ones that cause havoc to the health. You cannot run away from carbohydrates. You cannot say you will not take carbohydrates, you just be living on fruits and vegetables. No, you still have to take some form of carbohydrate so that you have sugar. When I say sugar, please, I don't mean refined sugar, I mean carbohydrate. You need sugar, you need carbohydrate that will supply you energy. It's just that you are going to reduce the sugar as you grow older. Therefore, the carbohydrate prevents breakdown of protein from the body. If your body needs energy and the energy is not available, there is no carbohydrate, your body will take from the fat in your body. I'm sure we are aware of that. We'll be talking about fat. So if you are lucky to have fat, good for you, and you don't take carbohydrate and you have enough fat, your body will take from the fat and convert the fat to energy. Now, if you don't have enough fat, in your body, now your body is going to go to your protein to deplete it and convert that protein to energy. So that is why it is not good for you not to take carbohydrates. Okay, I said 45 to 65% of your calorie should be carbohydrate. 45 to 65% of your calorie. I can't remember if I mentioned that. That's why I went back to it. Now, fiber cannot be used for energy, even though it is a complex sugar. But they play a vital role in regulating process. You know, I said regulating processes, we don't see it. We don't see the digestive system. You don't see all these systems, but they are important. You don't see all these organs. Those organs you don't see, they are important. We need to ensure all the things we need to regulate these processes are available. So fiber helps to add bulk to our stools and to make it easy to remove from the body. Hence, fiber prevents constipation. Do you know fiber prevents constipation? It makes it easy for you to go to toilet. It makes it easy for you to do whatever you want to do in order to not to have constipation. So it is very important. Some people usually say fiber does not have any nutritional value. It doesn't have any nutritional value. It doesn't have any nutritional value, but it does a lot. Fiber reduces the absorption of cholesterol and decreases the movement of glucose into the blood. So fiber is helping to regulate some processes. Reduce the absorption of cholesterol. You know, cholesterol is not good, especially when you are growing older. It's not good for you to be mounting up cholesterol in your body. So Fiber helps to reduce the absorption. Fiber helps your stool to come out easily. So fiber is important for digestion. Fiber plays a lot of role in the digestive system, but you shouldn't take too much of it. You know, too much of it will also lead to purging, because that's what it does. It helps to make stooling easy. 21 to 38 grams a day will be fine for you as an adult. What are the health effects of carbohydrates? Now, when carbohydrate is too much, when sugar is too much, what does it do? Depending on your genetic coding, when I say genetic coding, I mean your makeup, your genetic makeup, your body makeup. It is as a result of high intake of refined sugar. When you take refined sugar means sugar that has been processed. How will I explain it? The sugar that is in your juice, the sugar you put in your tea, and the sugar they put in beverages and all that are refined sugar. Okay, the sugar has been extracted from the main source. When you extract the sugar in sugarcane and you refine it, it's now called refined sugar. It's no more sugarcane sugar, it's not refined sugar. The sugar in glucose, you take it, or the sugar in the natural fruits, you extract it and package it for another purpose. It's called refined sugar. Okay? So when you take high intake of refined sugar, it can lead to diabetes. Now, when you say high intake, it now depends on your genetic makeup. Some people are not prone to diabetes, so even if they take some, it might be higher than other people, and they will still not have it. It's because of genetic makeup. So genetic makeup also determines. So if there is a history of diabetes, please, from the childhood, you teach your children not to take, let them get used to not taking sugar at all. Because when they get used to it and they leave your home, you can't control them anymore. When they go to boarding school or they go to university and you've already trained them, let them get used to not taking sugar, especially when there is history. When there is no history, it's even good when you don't take too much sugar. Dental cavity. Cavities are formed by the destruction of the hard tissue of the teeth. This occurs when bacteria metabolize refined sugar on the tooth. So you can see it can also cause tooth problem. Weight, obesity. Obesity can be caused by excess refined sugar. Okay, so what we are talking about here, when you say carbohydrate, we're actually talking about refined sugar, basically. As we are reducing our carbohydrate as we grow up as mothers, we should do away with refined sugar completely. It does not do us any good. And also foods that contain refined sugar, like drinks, you reduce the intake or you eliminate completely, you stop. Fibers can promote weight loss. How can fiber promote weight loss? You know, I explained to us that fiber helps to make our stool easy to come out and all that. So you are not, fiber helps you, it's like you are doing, when you eat fiber, it's like you are doing exercise. It helps to remove anything that, you know, is excess in your body. You are going to release it easily. So as you are releasing it easily, it causes weight loss. The next one we are going to be talking about is protein. Before I go on, I want to go back to carbohydrate and tell us that carbohydrates is needed in the largest quantity. Okay, and that is why we have 45 to 65% of our calorie intake should be carbohydrates. And our children need carbohydrate at this stage. Don't say that carbohydrate is the one that will give your child kwashiorkor. No, you are going to regulate other things to match up. Not that you will not give that child carbohydrate. Your child has to have energy. They have to have energy to do all the, and it's from carbohydrate they get it. If they don't get it from that carbohydrate, they will go and take it from fat. And if they don't have fat, your child doesn't have much fat, it will go and take protein. Because energy is the number one. Without energy, there's no life. So when your child's protein is being depleted, what it means is that all the other things that the protein does, okay, let's look at what protein does. They are the workhorses of the body needed to build structures and then maintain life. Amino acids are the building block of protein. So we use protein for growth, repairs, and maintenance. So imagine if all the protein in your child's body is being converted to energy. What will your child use for growth, repairs, and maintenance, which are very vital? So we don't want the body to go and take our protein to use for energy. We want protein to be used for what it's meant to be used for. Hence, carbohydrates intake is very important. A chain of amino acids joined to form polypeptides. Protein is many polypeptides joined together. There are 20 amino acids needed in the body. Some are produced in the body, while others are gotten from foods. Now, please, this aspect is very important. Let's pay attention. Why am I talking about the building block? Amino acids. Because they are the ones that play all the role in the body, growth. For any growth to take place, growth of tissue or anything, cell growth, it is the amino acid that will replicate. So you permit me to use the word that amino acid is like the smallest unit of life. Permit me to use that word. No amino acid, no life. As in, if you want to produce a cell now, you want to replicate, you want to clone, you want to make, you are going to use amino acid, not glucose. You can see how important it is, okay, for growth, repairs, and maintenance. So you understand, it's like the building block of the body. It's like the cell of the body. It's like the smallest unit of the body. So we now have 20 amino acids. I want to quickly look at the 20 amino acids now. Very important. We want to look at the 20 amino acids, very important, and the impact. There are two. We are going to categorize them into two: essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. These essential amino acids are the ones that the body cannot manufacture it. The body cannot manufacture them. Therefore, it is very essential you ensure that these amino acids are present in the diet of your family. Essential because the body cannot manufacture them. Hence, you are the one that will ensure that it is in the diet. But non-essential, it doesn't mean they are not important. Non-essential does not mean not important. It means that they are produced by the body. So you may not need to make sure that it's always in the diet. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the non-essential does not mean it is not important. It means that the body can produce it. So it is even very important for the body to be producing. That means the body cannot afford you to be nonchalant and not produce it. So the body is just generally producing it. The body does not want any trouble. So they are producing it. So I think they are even the most essential because the body is producing them. Non-essential amino acids, they are alanine, asparagine, glutamate, glutamine, cysteine, aspartate, glycine, tyrosine, proline, and serine. Now, the essential ones are the ones I need you to take note of. I need you to take note of them because they are the ones that the body cannot produce. So you have to ensure they are in your body. So we are going to be looking at them and looking at ensuring that they are in our diet. Phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan. You know, I'm sure you know tryptophan because some of the drugs, contents, they have them as supplements. Isoleucine, methionine. Methionine, if you care to know, is a starter in protein synthesis. Okay, histidine. I'm sure you've heard of histidine because it's also part of the things, some of the things you are given as a supplement. Arginine, leucine, and lysine. These 10 on my left are the essential ones that you have to ensure it's available. Protein function. They are responsible for growth, repairs, and maintenance. They provide structure Keratin and collagen. Keratin can be seen in hair, skin, you know, so they help the hair and the skin, they give it the structure they need. Collagen, that's for the skeletal system. Number 3, they regulate bodily processes. You know, I said, hey, please, this bodily process is very important. Enzymes, hormones, antibodies. Okay, please, if you are just joining us, you can mute your mic. Thank you. Okay, so they regulate these bodily processes, and that is very important for me. Enzymes and hormones. They help in transportation. Okay, let me give you an example of enzymes and hormones. Enzymes, all the enzymes, for instance, in digestion now, all enzymes are proteins. In digestion, you have thyroid, you have protease. All the processes involved in digestion have enzymes, and therefore they are important. Hormones, like insulin is an hormone, for instance. It helps to prevent diabetes. Okay? It helps to prevent diabetes by removing the sugar in the blood. What of hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is another one that's very important. It helps to transport oxygen. It will bind to oxygen and helps it to transport oxygen to all parts of the body tissue. You can see it's very important, even though we cannot see. Have you ever seen hemoglobin? No, but hemoglobin is very needed in the body. They help to prevent infection. Antibodies. Antibodies are proteins. So antibodies are proteins, enzymes are proteins, hormones are proteins, and all these help to regulate body processes and prevent infection. So that means if some proteins are lacking in the body, there could be infection. There could be infection. But that because there is no antibody to fight all these things that our children play with. Because you can't be shouting every time. The children have to play. You can't say don't touch, don't, you know, as much as we try. But you can't imagine. Just yesterday, my son was using his tongue to lick the, I was right there, he was using his tongue to lick the floor. Can you imagine? Immediately I shouted and screamed, and you know, we just have to ensure that these children have enough antibodies to fight all these. You know, that small licking, imagine if it's, you know, somewhere else that, you know, it can pick up germs easily. So we just have to ensure we give our children the best immunity, which is in nutrition. They are the last resort for energy. As I said earlier, if there is no carbohydrate, if you are managing the carbohydrates, you don't give your child enough carbohydrate, and your child does not have enough fat, carbohydrate is number 1. So your body will go and convert protein to carbohydrate. What I mean is that it will convert protein to energy. So there has to be carbohydrate at every point in time. What are the sources of proteins? We have animal proteins. Okay, animal proteins are the complete protein sources. If you want your child to have all these essential amino acids, don't give yourself a headache to cram the names. Don't bother, because you're not a biochemist. The one you should bother yourself is just look at meat, beef, poultry, you know, chicken, egg, seafood, milk. Make sure that they are in your child's diet. Once you make sure you have animal protein, forget. When I ask you, does your child have essential amino acids, just tell me present. Once the animal proteins are there, you are present. Then plant proteins that have it, soya beans, beans, nuts, seeds, and grains. But plant proteins do not have all the essential amino acids. Okay, so you might have to combine a lot. So if you're a vegetarian, for instance, if you need protein, you have to combine a lot of plant produce, plant food, to be able to get. You can't be feeding on one kind of vegetable and say you're a vegetarian. You won't be able to grow. So for vegetarians, you need combination of a lot of them. But if it's animal protein, 1 or 2 can do. Do we understand now? 1 or 2 can do. Seafoods, you know, beef alone has a lot of all those proteins and vitamins. Then we have some of them here. Okay, I want to point your attention to some of them. You can see bread there. Okay, brown bread. Can we see walnuts? So I'm pointing our attention to walnut as a plant protein. Wholemeal bread, wheat bread, source of protein. Avocado. Avocado is another one. Avocado is another one. Let me look for another strong one there. Brown rice. Please, can we see brown rice? Second column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second column, number 6. Have you seen it? Okay, so that's brown rice. I'm pointing attention to the key ones. You can get brown rice in Nigeria. Okay, so, but you know, we don't like brown rice. I don't like it personally because it doesn't taste sweet. But you can train your children. You can train, you don't have to take so much. Just give them, okay, we'll talk about how to maintain balanced diets later so I don't muddle things up. Okay, how are you going to achieve it? We'll talk about it. It's a serious business. How we are going to achieve it is serious business. So we need to look at it. These are animal proteins. Egg, milk. What else do we have there? Meat. Okay, then we have some vegetables there. We have some plant proteins there, but beef, chicken, and all that are animal proteins. Poultry, egg, seafood, and milk. Having said all that, we want to look at protein, energy, malnutrition. That is our business. Okay, we need to increase our speed a little so that we can finish this topic next week. Protein, energy, malnutrition, what does it mean? Kwashiorkor, marasmus, and overworking of the kidney is what can result from protein, energy, malnutrition. Marasmus, your child becomes weak. The child becomes weak, the immune system is also depleted. The same thing, kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is when you don't have enough protein, just like marasmus. You don't have enough protein, therefore the body of the child cannot fight. The body is weak because the child is feeding mostly on carbohydrates. Okay, I said carbohydrates is good, but when the child feeds only on carbohydrate, there is no protein, there is no vitamin. That can be the result. So what is the result when there is no protein? Kwashiorkor, marasmus, and then excess protein. When the protein is in excess, you don't also say, they have said we should be eating protein now. Please, we will not take carbohydrate. Let me start giving my child protein. And protein, you don't need as much as the calorie you need is 10 to 35% of the calorie. So you don't need as much as carbohydrates. So when you give the child too much, it's going to be excreted. It's going to be excreted. It's going to be excreted. It's not going to be converted to any energy. Or sorry, it's not going to be stored. Like carbohydrate is stored. Okay, fat is stored. And when you need energy sometime later in the future, I said energy is very important. Hey. But this one, once you don't need the protein, it is wasted. So you are just punishing your kidney. So we don't want to do that. Lipids. They are biological molecules that are insoluble in water but are soluble in non-polar solvents. They are biological molecules not soluble in water but soluble in non-polar solvents. Non-polar solvent, when I say non-polar solvent, the literal one oil, non-polar. Okay, water is polar, oil is non-polar. Groups of lipids found in nature, unsaturated fatty fats. They are found in plants like vegetable oil, walnuts, avocado. These are the good fats. These are the good fats. Now, mark my words here. Saturated fats, they are found majorly in beef and other animal products. They increase the risk of heart disease if not controlled. So, they are the bad fats, or let me say, not good when you take them in excess. Saturated fats and synthetic fat. Synthetic, as the name implies, means something you manufacture. So it's possible to manufacture fat. Okay, they are found in snacks, cookies, French fries, mostly fast foods. These are not things you want to be feeding your children with. We are going to talk more on this next week. As your child eating, yes, what did your child eat? Pizza. As your child eating, yes, what did your child eat? Shawarma. As your child eating, yes, he took biscuit, gala, this, that. All these snacks are not the ones we are talking about when we say as your child eating. As your child taking nutrients that will profit the child, not processed foods. Most of these processed foods have gone through a lot. Some of them contain a lot of refined sugar that is not healthy. French fries, frying. Now, we said vegetable oil is good fat. But let me quickly say here that when you fry, you expose yourself to a lot of things that are not good for the health. I want to announce that as much as possible, if you don't fry your foods, it's safer. When you fry your vegetable oil, you put, when you now put onions, please, if you must do it, don't heat it for a long time. You are generating free radicals. And these free radicals are carcinogenic. When I say carcinogenic, I mean they can generate and lead to cancer. Not only frying, smoking, anything that will cause oil and fire reactions. Let me use that literal word. When you smoke, whether there is oil or not, you know, cooking is the best. Just cook. If you must fry, don't fry for too long. And if you can do without frying, all well and good. Because, you know, we all like fried things, fried chicken, fried this, fried that. But please, as mothers, let's try as much as possible to let our children enjoy meat without frying. Let them enjoy fish without frying. So that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. As they are growing up, these things are becoming more dangerous for their health. So when they are growing up, they will not depart from it. They will already be used to it. I'm not used to frying. And so because you as the mother has done your own part, you are the one that inculcated that in them. So the safe fats are the unsaturated ones. When I say unsaturated, biochemically, it means fats that have double bonds or triple bonds in their structure. I don't want to disturb us with structure. You don't have any business to do with structure. But so that's why I didn't put the structure there, just for you to know the difference literally. The structure, there is a double bond, there is triple bond, so it can bond easily with other things, and you know, it's safer than saturated fats. Those ones have single bonds, and you can find them in beef. So as we are growing old, we are getting to the age of 40, over 40, going to 50, please, this beef is not, you have to reduce it. Your children can take it, yes, because they need all the vitamins and minerals. Don't say you are not taking it, so you not give your children. You are the one that should not take it. Give your children meat that will be sufficient for them. You can do without meat or little, so that you can get the protein that you still need to repair tissues. More on lipids, we also have cholesterols and glycerols. Cholesterols are kinds of steroids. They are not too good for the body, especially as grown-ups. Okay, children can still store and use them for energy and all that, but for adults, cholesterol, you have to reduce it completely if you cannot eliminate it, because when we talk about heart diseases, they are the ones responsible. When they heart diseases like heart attack, high blood pressure, what else? You know them more than I do. All those category of illnesses are caused by cholesterol. Lipid sources. Foods rich in lipids are vegetable oil, butter, cheese, milk, and some meats, as I said, also have lipids, nuts, olive, corn, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we can see them here. When you say lipids, as I said, we mean fat and oil, anything that has fat and oil. Please avoid cholesterol. As you are clocking 40 and above, ensure you safeguard your heart. Lipids help to insulate the body. Insulate. That means they give the body support from cold. When you say insulate, like you are guiding the body from excess cold and other things. They cushion internal organs. Is also a form of insulation. So the lipids serve as cushion so that the organs, they will not be hot. They will not be injured. So they protect internal organs. They help to absorb important vitamins such as ADEC. We are going to talk about that later. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. I call these vitamins ADEC. Now, what are the health effects of lipids? Bad fats like cholesterol or too much fat generally can lead to obesity. We all know what obesity is. When somebody is overweight, we are going to be talking about obesity next week. Because of time, we can't do everything today. What is obesity? What do you mean when you say someone is obese? What do you mean when you say someone is overweight? Okay? Or underweight? Cholesterol can lead to obesity. It can cause cancer. That's why we need to burn them off. All the cholesterol, you avoid them, excess fat, anything that will not do your body any good. As a mother, as a parent, you avoid them. Children are still lucky. They can burn all those things. But when a child is obese too, it's not good. It can be deceptive. You would think the child is healthy. Your child is very robust, and their children are robust. But that child is feeding on puff, pizza, all these cholesterol content and fatty foods. And so the child is looking robust, but any small thing, the child falls ill. That child is still not healthy. So it's not about how robust the child is, but what are the determinants when you say someone is healthy? Okay, so when we are done with these classes of foods, we will look at what it means for someone to be healthy. Okay, the person has the right weight, the person has the right content of food. Then a child that is not eating can still be healthy. Sorry, a child that doesn't like eating, please, can still be healthy. Don't say because my child doesn't like eating, your child will not be healthy. Please and please, mothers, they can still be healthy. What are the techniques to use? We are going to discuss some of them. Not this week, but next week. Cancer, very important. We need to run away from it. Cholesterol, excess fat. Heart disease. Somebody is not watching his heart. He's not careful about what he eats. Cholesterol narrows the blood flow from the heart. So when blood cannot flow easily because of fat, fat cushions everything. It will cushion it and narrow the blood vessels. If the artery cannot pump blood easily to all the parts of the body, what will happen? The arteries will be under pressure, and that would lead to high blood pressure. Arthritis, when the bones have too much fat, they cannot carry the body, or the bones don't have strength to carry the fat in the body. The joints cannot do what they are supposed to do. It can be as a result of high cholesterol. Okay, I think I've dealt enough on that. When we are looking at how to make our food timetable, we will talk more on all these things. Vitamins, because of our time. Vitamins are organic compounds necessary for the growth and maintenance of the body's normal function. It contains carbon in its structure. Okay, I wanted us to have a feel of biochemistry. That's why I put this structure there. It's not necessary for you. Please don't bother your head with structure. Okay, just focus on the main thing, and that is the fact that vitamins are organic compounds necessary for the growth and maintenance of your normal body function. So you need them. There are two types: fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. What are the fat-soluble vitamins? They are the ones I called ADEC. Then the water-soluble are the vitamin B and vitamin C. Please take note of this water soluble. Because they are water soluble, you have to be checking your child's nutrition. Do they have vitamin B and C? Because they are water soluble, they can easily leave the system. So you need to replenish them more often. Some children need more of vitamin C if they are prone to all this cold and the rest of them. Vitamin B, B complex, they need it. Hence, you have to ensure that it's in your child's diet. Vitamin A, D, E, K also are important, but this B and C, you know, when a child has malaria and child has recovered, you have finished your medication, usually they ask you to be placed on vitamin B and C. That is why you are being placed on, or your child is being placed on. But you know, they will not place you on vitamin D. Hardly will you place you on vitamin K, except there's a problem, a blood clot problem. Vitamin E, maybe there's a particular problem with skin and all that. Vitamin D, maybe there's a problem with the bone. Vitamin A, vision, you know, maybe there's a genetic problem or something. But so they will not usually do ADEK because they are fat soluble. Once you take them, vitamin A during immunization, vitamin D, you find them in food. But B and C, you need supplements. Okay, if you cannot get enough in the food, but be careful, you don't place your child on supplements forever. That's another thing I need to announce. Please, I'm also, one of my mission in this class is to announce that it is wrong for you to place your child on supplements forever, permanently. Okay, if you notice, you are not told in the hospital to do that, but for strange reasons, maybe you heard it from someone, Biko, this one every day. No, these things have side effects. Do we know that? Okay, I'm here to announce to us that some of these vitamins, when they are too much in the body, they have side effects. We are going to be looking at some of their side effects. Are you hearing that for the first time? Okay, we want to look at some of them. Functions and food source. Vitamin A. A, carrot. We all know that carrot is the first one, and liver, two of them. You get vitamin A from them. You can also get them from milk. Please take note of these carrots. Most of the times we don't eat carrots. We don't give our children carrots. 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 I am emphasizing, make sure there is always carrot in your fridge. Is anybody listening to me, please? Okay, I want to tell us a secret. Now, when you have a baby and your baby, you just give it, you know, you will give your child vitamin A and all that, right? Every 6 months later, you'll be giving the child immunization of vitamin A. Carrots has almost all the classes of food. Okay, maybe no protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and all that. So when you are giving your child carrot, know that you are doing something good to your child. And it's affordable. I didn't mention liver because, you know, it's not everybody that might be able to. Carrots is that you can get 100 naira carrots and put in your fridge. Thank you. I hope I've been able to emphasize it enough. Please and please. Then if you have eye defects, if you have history of eye defects, also try and see how you can give your child carrots from birth. What I mean is, not as in when the child cannot take other foods. When I mean from birth, I mean once the child starts introducing foods to your child, make sure carrots is there. Like you start giving your child pap, if you can grate the carrots. You start giving your child potato. You know, potato is also very good. Please, those that are nursing babies, your child has started taking solid little by little, blend potato. Potato has almost all the vitamins. So when we are mentioning all these vitamins, don't stress yourself too much to cram them. Rather cram these foods, these kinds of foods. They are the ones that you should learn, because you don't want to be remembering vitamin A, D every time. Just remember the carrot. Remember Irish potato. Blend carrot and give your child as drink with spoon. You are helping that child. You are giving that child vitamins and minerals at the early stage. Okay, vitamin D, egg yolk, orange juice, mushroom, cod liver oil, and the rest of them. Another thing your child needs is egg yolk. Egg yolk. Please write it down. Irish potato, carrot, egg yolk. You can even mix the three in one meal. Mix the three in one, and you are good to go as a mother. I will tell us how mothers are good to go when you are talking about child nutrition. You will not have so much headache. Everything is about formula, because we are all working mothers, and it's not easy for you to start, cramming all these things. There is a way you can just ensure that it is there ad libitum. Let me use that word. You are not, if the asks you, is your child living on good nutrition? You say yes without thinking. Many of us, when they ask us, is your child living on good nutrition? Say, actually, last week we were doing it, but this week we were not doing it. So how do you ensure you don't think when they ask you? When you get to the hospital, is the child feeding well? Yes, is the first you are going to say. Not because you are lying, but because you have something already in place. And because you're a working mother, you need to put things in place to ensure balanced diet, to ensure good diet. We'll talk more about that next week. I'm digressing. Vitamin E, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. It helps immunity. Our time is almost up. Vitamin K, green leafy vegetables. For vitamin K, it helps to prevent excessive bleeding, blood clotting. We all know that. Okay, vitamin K helps in blood. Sorry, what did I say just now? Did I hear myself? Let me repeat it, please. Vitamin K helps in blood clotting. What that means is that if a child is having injury and if the blood is not clotting on time, that means it's not healing. Okay, let me use that word. Do you understand? It's something, when you say clot, it means something covering the wound and then it begins to heal. If that thing covering the wound is not coming up every time your child falls, that child lacks vitamin K. Because children, their wound gets healed fast. So your child needs vitamin K. Vitamin, as I said, all these fat-soluble vitamins is, as if a child does not have it, it could also be hereditary. Like vitamin A now, you might, if it could be vision, maybe it could affect vision if a child lacks, and it could be hereditary. So once you know that it's in the blood, you start giving your child what the child needs early. Vitamin D deficiency is hereditary. It can lead to arthritis and all those things. So once you know you have it, you don't put your child through the same stress. Start giving your child cod liver, egg yolk, vitamin D supplements, as prescribed. Please don't just overdo it. Vitamin E, once you know there's a problem with immunity and it's in the blood, is running. So all these fat soluble could be genetical. Please, let's write that down. So if you notice you have it lacking, either in you, in your husband, or in the family, at the early stage, start giving your child from womb. You will start eating it. And when your child can begin to take solids, you start giving your children immediately, please. Vitamin B now. So we want to talk about the water-soluble vitamin. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Okay, yeah, I did. Vitamin B is called thiamine. It's found in legumes, grains. It helps in glucose metabolism, no toxic level, deficiency. It causes beriberi, tingling sensation in eye and feet. I hope you know tingling sensation in the eye. When your eye start moving by itself, sorry, that's your eyelashes, then your feet, you start seeing it moving. Not that it will stand up. That's not what I mean. There will be something tingling, moving, like something moving. Not moving around the body, to just be tingling. I don't know if you have felt it before. Okay, it means vitamin B. Please, this is vitamin. Vitamin B is deficient. B1 specifically. Then if vitamin B2 is deficient, swollen tongue, sore throat, itchy eyes, and so on. Vitamin B3, it regulates blood sugar, cholesterol, very important. It regulates cholesterol level. It repairs DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It helps circulatory nervous and digestive system. When there's deficiency, diarrhea. Okay, it's called niacin. That's vitamin B2. If you look at it, you have legumes, grains, meat, egg, nuts, vegetables, fish, liver. Okay, that's why I said liver is very good because it has a lot of vitamins. Mushroom is also good. So just be taking notes. Date palm. Do we know date palm? I don't know if I have a picture of date palm. Okay, those things that malams they carry is in a wheelbarrow. I've forgotten the local name. Please, if you remember the local name of date palm.
Gambino.
Sorry?
Gambino.
Mommy, I calling me.
Gambino.
Hello? Okay, so they push it. It's very good. Then we have pantothenic acid, vitamin B5. Kidney is found in liver. You see liver is coming up again. Okay, so it helps in production of antibiotics. Vitamin B6, banana, carrot, spinach. Carrot is coming again. You can see what I'm talking about. So when you take too much of supplements of vitamin B6, it can lead to nervous damage. Some of vitamin B, when you take them too much, it has toxicity. So you don't just put your child on Bico forever. If the doctor has not told you to get it, or the child does not need it, don't place the child on it permanently because there are side effects. Vitamin B7, cell division, carrot is coming again. You see why I said you should put carrot in your fridge? Okay, please thank me for that. Keep carrot in your fridge as a snack. Vitamin B9, spinach, nuts, beans. What else is there? Yeah, and so on and so forth. Orange juice. Vitamin B12, only in animal products, red meat, organs, meat. So this is where I'm going. You can see your child needs vitamin B12. And it's only in animal products. It helps in formation of red blood cell. RBC is red blood cell. And if it's deficient, it causes anemia when there is no red blood cell enough. So you can see why they need animal products too. Meat and all that. The children need to take them. If you are a vegetarian, you need to make research and ensure that all the vegetables you are eating have all the classes of food enough for you to have a healthy diet. Vitamin C, our friend. You know vitamin C, so I will not dwell too much on vitamin C. Citrus foods, tomatoes, pepper. It helps in production of collagen, which is a good substance that helps support the support system, that is our skeletal system. It helps in connectivity, skeletal system. It prevents scurvy and overdose. There is overdose. Please, one of my mission in this course is to announce to us that there can be overdose of even vitamin C. It can cause nausea, can cause diarrhea. Please don't place children permanently on vitamin C. It's only when they need it, or when you see that they will soon need it, you are seeing symptoms, or they have been exposed, you can give them, but not permanently, please. Especially newborn. Your child has been discharged from the hospital, you and your baby, and they've given you food supplements. Please follow the prescription. When they say 2 weeks is okay, don't do 2 months. Please, please. There is what we call toxicity. Don't do too many of us do it. I don't know why. Please, let's follow the instruction of the doctors. Not only doctors now, nutritionists have said it. You don't place people permanently on food supplements. It has side effects. You don't want to be healing one thing and be causing problems and be damaging the children's organs, the nervous system, and the child is becoming nervous unnecessarily, or there's a problem somewhere. We don't want that to happen to our children. So we would like to take questions, because in the next class we'll be taking minerals. There are lots and lots of them, and we are going to be looking at how they regulate processes, their side effects, overdose, and the rest of them. We are going to be looking at my plate in the next class. My plate. My plate. What do we mean by my plate? We are going to be looking at that. Have you heard of the word rainbow? Rainbow salad. We are going to be looking at rainbow salad. Please don't miss next week. How do you pack your lunch bag, your child's lunch bag? Don't miss it next week. What is the role of water in nutrition? Don't miss it next week. How do you present food to your child that is not eating? After saying all this, now the next question, yeah, but my child is not eating, we don't collect it. They are saying food, my child will not take it. How do you do it? Meet me next week. Special diet. I've spoken about special diet. How do you encourage healthy eating habits? All these and many more. How do you make your timetable? Do you have a timetable for your child? Do you have a timetable for yourselves? We will be looking at all these and many more next week. But for now, we are going to stop here. Thank you. It's time for us to ask our questions if we have any. Question time. We can unmute our mics. Question, comments, complaints, contributions, please, before we go. Hello, can anybody hear me? Okay, let me start calling names. Sorry, please, I would like to know Michael Durotin Grace. This is her first time of joining us. Are you there? Michael Durotin Grace, if you are there, please, this is your first time. You are saying hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, how are you, madam?
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm fine, thank you.
This is your first time of attending this program?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so how did you find it?
Very, very interesting.
All right.
Very interesting.
Okay, so we hope you join us next week. Any questions for me?
No question. They are very, very clear.
They are clear. All right, that's good. Madam Moyosora Curtis Joseph, any questions? Okay, is she there? Mrs. Oyatoye, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Mrs. Adelakun, any questions? Are we good to close? All right.
Actually, my question,
okay.
I will ask my question in the next class because the issue I have now is my baby doesn't like to eat. Said you are going to address it.
Whoa,
so I will wait
to the next class. All right then. All right then. Very important. Next class is very important. Please invite your friend. We are going to be discussing some secrets. Yes. Any other contribution or questions? Hello.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I was on a call, so I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't reply.
Oh, okay. I mentioned your name. That. How did you find the class?
Oh, it was very, very informative, and some of the things I knew before, but I became, how will I say now? I became complacent. So I'm going to. This class is a motivation for me to go back to start feeding the children the proper way again. I think I just got busy with work and everything, so it was just eat as you go.
Thank you for that. A wake-up call.
So now I'll be more intentional. Yes.
It is a deliberate process.
I'll be more intentional.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments?
Yes, ma'am. I have a contribution.
Okay.
I would like to really appreciate you for this opportunity because so much value for free is really great. I mean, it's a privilege. I mean, to get value from this kind of class for free, and it's really impactful.
We
Thank you
thank
so
God
much,
for
ma.
that. It can only be God. It can only be God. We thank God. Okay, so please, I want us to, there are something special, some special things I want to discuss with us next week. Let us make it a date. Thank you very much for joining. God bless you. Thank you, and bye for now. Please, can we do me a favor of inviting somebody?
Okay, ma.
Please invite someone. Thank you.
Thank you,
I will do that.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Ah, no, but okay.